So before we even start, I need to know, have you been watching these videos to the end? Or have you just been missing out on the credit gem of the day that the 1% of the world uses to keep their credit tight and help build wealth? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the video. What happens if you lose it all, fellas? Will she be by your side, or will the relationship crumble? Many men seem to have fears around financial security and relationship stability. I think about my own situation, and sometimes I think that men are afraid that if their financial world collapses, their partner will leave. So I remember the person I was with, they had a job loss, and I remember watching him, and it wasn't so much about actually losing the job, because I feel like him and I both knew that he would find another job, but it was about how it made him feel inside, right? He seemed defeated at times, lost at times, like he didn't know what to do. And that's when I realized how much a man's pride is tied in how they feel like they can provide financially. Today, we're going to talk about our mindset around our money financial IQ and how trauma shapes our relationships. Our money mindset is rooted in our past experiences, often starting in childhood, and how we saw our parents handle money, whether they were frugal, reckless, anxious, or just didn't open up about finances. This really shapes the way that we perceive money and interact with money now as we become adults, right? I definitely think this is especially true for you guys, because society often has us tied into the idea that money equals value, especially for men. It's about being financially successful or making you feel inadequate if you're not, like the provider that you think you should be. So this specifically speaks to your beliefs about money, and that they're not just random. They are formed over years of experiences, again, often going back to how we grew up regarding money. So for instance, a man who grew up in a household where money was scarce may adopt what we call a scarcity mindset, or swing the other way and spend recklessly, right? And again, this is a reaction to his upbringing. Feeling like you're falling short financially may have you withdraw emotionally, which will totally weaken your love relationship. And this is where trauma starts to especially take root. So today, we are going to break down 4 keys to protect your relationship when finances fall apart. So number 1 is building a financial IQ together. So this is not just about financial literacy and knowing numbers. It's really about creating a shared understanding and control over your financial future. So a great suggestion is something that I call our money dates, right? And this is where a couple can sit down, go over your budget, financial goals, and any upcoming expenses. So this really should be a fun situation for you, not stressful, like perhaps going to your favorite restaurant or ordering in. But the goal is to make the money conversations feel like teamwork rather than a burden. This way, over time, the dates become a way that you're building your financial transparency and emotional closeness at the same time. Number 2, communicate financial goals and fears. So one of the biggest relationship stressors is the lack of open communication about money. Many men in particular, yes guys, I'm talking about you, it seems that you struggle to be transparent about your financial fears or setbacks. And what happens is this silence can create a serious barrier in your relationship, causing distrust or making her feel left out of important financial decisions. The way that you can really be vulnerable in communicating about money, it needs to feel like a shared experience. What I mean is sharing some financial goals and fears. It's important to do just that. It may be fears about not earning enough or concerns about debt, just really discussing these issues openly prevents a feeling of isolation. And for you guys, it's important in particular because opening up about financial struggles can feel like admitting failure. So I totally understand that you have to challenge this mindset by really making sure that when you share your financial worries, you don't think about it as a weakness, but you think about it as a strength. This way it shows trust in your relationship. A huge example of this is to make sure you get our financial love covenant. The link is at the bottom in the description. So we created this tool as a way for you to sit down with your partner. It really helps guide the discussion of your financial goals, your plans, and your concerns. It's a way to help clear the air and address those hidden fears, and also establish some mutual understanding about your money. It also talks about regular check-ins and the importance of that. It definitely helps with the kind of transparency that completely fosters a deeper emotional connection and being able to help you overcome those financial challenges so that you can face them together. Number three is a big one. This is about creating a financial safety net. So we know financial disasters, struggles, they are definitely going to happen one way or another. So whether that's a job loss, medical emergency, or just some unexpected expenses that come up, having a financial safety net is crucial. It helps to reduce fear when we think about losing everything, right? The safety net also helps reduce anxiety. It's because both of you have something to fall back on. You know, building this safety net is a joint venture, right? It's not just enough for one partner to save and invest, but the other partner needs to be involved in the process as well. And make sure that you're both aware of the money and how it's being allocated. So fellas, maybe both of you don't work, right? So that's okay. You know, maybe you're, what would be termed as the breadwinner for the family, but she should still be contributing her thoughts and ideas about how to strategize what this safety net looks like, specifically how you're going to use it and just the whole scope of it and how it impacts your life. In addition, these emergency funds don't just stop at saving and investing, right? This also includes things like life insurance. So this is very important for times of uncertainty because life insurance policies can be used as a way to help as a financial cushion. If you already have a life insurance policy in place, I would definitely consider you taking a deep dive in it to see how it works for you, knowing that there is something in place that will give you both some peace of mind. And lastly, number 4, healing trauma through financial therapy. Financial trauma runs deeper than financial literacy or budgeting. It's about those emotional wounds that are tied to money. And again, often stemming from our past experiences, these wounds can silently affect a person's relationship with money and with our partner. Financial therapy can help you and her to confront these traumas and to develop a healthier relationship around your finances. So when we think about financial trauma, we need to think about discussing our experiences like we talked about earlier, growing up and whether it was poverty or experiencing a bankruptcy or just witnessing our parents struggle with money, right? These traumas can manifest in anxiety, compulsive spending, just complete avoidance when it comes to our money. When one of our partners carries unresolved financial trauma, it can impact how they communicate around money. So fellas, things like avoidance of money, conversations, overcompensating by hoarding money, or just spending to mask a deeper emotional issue. These traumas have got to be dealt with head on. I do want to say, for those that can't necessarily afford therapy, right? There are other online resources. There are support groups out there, also financial coaches that can offer like a particular guidance with navigating financial trauma. The key is not to face this alone, but to work together through them as a couple. So wrap all this up in a bow, right? Building a financial IQ together, it will strengthen your relationship, and it builds trust, guys, so that you can open up with her about your financial goals and fears. And this also prevents isolation and distrust. Having a financial safety net reduces anxiety and fear during financial hardships. And lastly, healing financial trauma allows couples to face their financial challenges together and to create a healthy mindset. By following these 4 strategies, couples can avoid the fear of financial disaster tearing their relationship apart, and instead using these hardships to grow stronger together. Now for our credit gem of the day. Did you know that having too many hard inquiries on your credit report can lower your score? But there is always a loophole. For loans like mortgage or auto loans, the credit bureaus allow multiple inquiries within a short window. Usually it's between 14 and 45 days and will only count as 1 inquiry in terms of your points. So this allows you to shop around for the best rate without hurting your score. So what you want to do is make sure that you take advantage of this rate shopping window and save yourself from unnecessary credit dings. The other thing I want to say is, if you've already built a relationship with a specific bank or credit union, utilize this bank to finance your auto loan or mortgage. That way you'll have less inquiries in the end. And remember to ring that bell, subscribe, comment, give a thumbs up. We love your comments. It helps us to know what you like to hear and what's important and valuable to you. Thank you for joining us today. And remember, you are your greatest value. You are your greatest asset. Take care.